Welcome back to the Mid-Year Mitch YouTube channel. In today's episode, I'm digging out a brand new project, bringing it to the shop. I'm going to give you guys a walkthrough and an overview of what we're going to do on this car, so be sure to stick around. So it's a busy day just moving stuff around. I have a couple things here from my townhouse I need to move to make room for something else that's coming in there, but I have this chunk of a 63 or 4 convertible here. Unfortunately, someone just kept cutting this thing up and using it for parts. So I'm going to take this thing apart. I need to take the steel out of it so that way I can break it down. So the shop's a bit of a mess, but I've cleaned out the doghouse back here so I can put the next project back here while center field is still here and about to head home. But I took this guy apart, took the rocker sections out of the floor. So I unloaded the trailer, put the firewall in my fiberglass stack over here. I have a whole pile of bird cages here. So I have a split window, 65 convertible, 267 convertibles, 66 coupe, and maybe parts to build another cage or two in here. A whole bunch of other miscellaneous fiberglass, my 60 Corvette, my Model A. Now I had to make some room right here because that's where another project is going to be sitting. But I at least had to clear all this out so I can still get my Challenger in here because I had the 68 Corvette chassis in here for a long time. So now I can actually get my car in here, which is nice. So I'm going to go get that 65 project car. So I took my truck and trailer here to the storage facility where we have a whole plethora of parts. And I will be 100% honest with you guys. I've never really dug into this stuff. It showed up here a little while ago and it's been patiently waiting for me to get to, but I haven't unpacked any of this because, well, there's just a lot going on in here. So somewhere hiding in here, we have a split window project, a 65 coupe project, and a 67 roadster with lots of other things. So fortunately, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to do a lot of digging to get out to what we need because I can see there's some cowls in here, some front end pieces, front end roof, doors. There's just a lot of stuff in here. And what I'm looking for is this bent roof right here, this burgundy roof. So I think I'm gonna start unpacking some of this stuff. Some of these other pieces I may either take to this other storage unit or just jam further back in the pile, but it's gonna take a little bit to dig down to what we need to, and I don't even know what's all in here. There could be 42 Corvettes in here, I don't know, in the kitchen sink. He threw in everything I needed and more. All right, so I started digging the car out and I'm a little winded because she's a lot heavier than I thought. Turns out it still has a gas tank in the back, still has a bumper on it, and possibly part of the frame. Wasn't expecting that. Anyways, pulled out some cowl sections here. I'll have to figure out which ones I want to use, but I'm thinking this guy might be a good donor for this area that's missing. We're gonna need part of the floor right here. So I gotta figure out what I need here. Drag out some doors, hinge pillars, hinges, all that kind of stuff. Put everything else back. But he's got everything, including brand new windshield frame. He's got some real nice press molded stuff for the split window that's in here, but I guess I'll give you guys a better look. So we have a rusty bird cage on the bottom side, and then we have one that's been clipped right here. So this gold car was a split. I say was because someone decided to hack the entire split out. So he has a whole nother rear surround for this. So that's pretty solid. And he's got a whole nother windshield in here and all the bird cage pieces to build pretty much a whole nother car. So we're gonna figure out what pieces we need for this 65. I'll probably grab all of these in case the other stuff I have over there is no good. So I'm gonna gather stuff up, load it up in the truck, and I'll show you what I end up taking back. All right, so it's quite a bit later. I have everything out of the trailer that I think I need loaded up here on the other trailer. So we've got a couple chunks of cowl sections for this thing. I've got the rear clip that I showed you guys, which is significantly heavier than I thought. That thing ain't going nowhere. I have 4 doors, some cowl sections in here, some quarter panels, a whole bunch of windshield pieces, some rear tubs here, whole bunch of goodies. So now I'm gonna go ahead, take this thing back to the shop. All right, so I got the rear half of the 65 in the shop here, and it rained a little bit, so she got her first bath in quite a while. And this is a good bit of damage that we have to take out of here. And you can see the front half of the floor and the cowl is missing. So it's similar to Overkill, is that it's cut right here, except we have a little more floor. But it's worse than Overkill because the whole roof in the middle is buckled and it looks like it's separating here. It appears the car may have originally been silver, and then it may have been green and then maroon, or red. It's been several colors, so that's cool. It's kind of a hot rod. We still got the louvers on this side, and I don't know how well I'm going to be able to show you this, but she has wheel lip trim. She was a custom hot rod. I don't know why. I've never seen wheel lip trim on one of these before, but sure. All right, I apologize, a little tight in here, but we still have the exhaust valance on, one bumper, tail lights, and there's a gas tank in here. There's a tank. I didn't think there was a tank in here, but I saw the bumper, so I figured there was something going on here. Was this thing blue too? It's a little bit of every color. She's had some work done. Looks like she might need a little bit of repair work, or she had some work done back here. Had a little bit of a tough life, it looks like. But this car is going to have, obviously the bumper's going to come off, pull the quarters off. Most likely the whole top skin is going to come off. I don't know if I can leave the floor in it or not. Most likely we're going to have to peel this whole thing back and leave pretty much just a bird cage. And you can really see by looking across the front all these different shapes. We're going to have some work to do to bring that back around. So to fix that, I have a couple pieces here from a red car that had factory side pipes. So this will donate a good bit of the cowl, firewall, maybe some windshield pillar pieces. I don't know. And then over here we have another one which you can't tell, maybe by that kink over there you can, but this one was a rollover. The windshield she's just laid down the whole way. And this one can probably donate some more firewall, some more windshield bits. Probably not that windshield pillar, I'll have to put a new one on. But we also have a whole brand new windshield frame. I have B-pillars. I think these ones are okay, but I have B-pillars, whole windshield, and I have a couple hinge pillars and stuff. So we have enough to put the bird cage together. I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing shoved back in the little pen over here, because center field's still here. Get it pushed back in there, and then we can really take a look at what we got going on here. This is the most I've really looked at the car. From what I can see, there's a lot of green. Maybe I can get you around here. If you look in here at the roof, oh, it's silver. There's still a lot of original paint, silver and green and stuff on the bird cage. There's a kink over there on that side, which that's a bummer. This side the driver's side looks pretty good. So it's gonna need a lot of work, but it's nothing that we can't handle. Looks like maybe it was an automatic car. I don't know if that's a factory boot or not, but if it was, looks like this was an automatic hot rod. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get this shoved back here, and here's some of the windshield rocker bits I have for this thing. I have the main bird cage pushed back into its hidey hole for now, and I brought back 2 complete sets of doors here. Some of them are power windows, some have, well, one has vent windows. Some of them have hardware and trim. This one's actually a 67 door, so I'd prefer to not use this door if possible. But it looks like we have a pretty decent selection of doors to make sure we can get a car that's gonna work. So I'll go ahead and lay these doors in the car and then bring the rest of the fiberglass in here as well. I pretty much took all the stuff out of the trailer that was stacked up like this, unstacked it, sorted through it, laid it all on the trailer, and then re-stacked it again. So we have enough in here to definitely build a firewall back of this car, and we'll have some extras, which will be nice. But the whole idea here is we're gonna build this car kind of like Overkill. So it's going to be, I'm gonna first build the firewall back. I'm gonna cut the rear floor out. We're gonna set it on a Roadster Shop Spec 7 chassis. I have a dynamic Corvette wide tub floor back here. It's 3 pieces, 1, 2, and 3. We're gonna install that. Then we're gonna install a front end on this car. And then it's gonna go back home. So this one, it's gonna be a lot of work, as you can see by the way that it is, but it'll be a fun one. It's good to get back into birdcage work. She's a little rough, but it's a pretty decent start. all things considering. So I should have mostly everything I need. I might be missing a little piece of floor here or there, which I might have some in my inventory up top. But you can see how much this thing was crushed. So, but we do have a, we have a windshield wiper on it still, so that's handy. I have 1, 2, 3 different cowl sections that we'll put together to build a cowl for it. I have some decent rockers here. I'll have to see what the rockers look like on this thing, but most likely we're gonna have to take all the fiberglass off of this guy to fix them right, glue it back together. I have new quarter panels inside the car, new gutters. I mean, this car's gonna get the full workaround, but that'll be once center field leaves, pull out the frame table, set the car up on it, take all the stuff off. I took out my birdcage cart because I wanted to slide this in here, and all the extra parts that come off of this will go in this little bunker here. So that way we'll have plenty of room here and plenty of room for all the 68 Corvette parts that are strewn. They're throughout. Sure, they're throughout the garage. So, like I said, it looks a little chaotic right now, but this will be a Restomod very soon. We have the Roadster Shop chassis. It's just in storage right now. We have the front end. So we should have all the real big pieces here to put this thing together. So it should be good. Oh yeah, and I have a whole nother floor and firewall up there. So there's lots of goodies here. It'll just take some time to put it together, and I'll have a video coming up on this thing, and I'll explain why you guys haven't seen this thing in a while. She's just being ornery. So I gotta get the garage put back together here. A little short on space right now, but it'll be okay. Well, it's been a really long day. I did a lot of shuffling cars around, and of course it rained, so that was a lot of fun. Hasn't rained all week, except for when I moved stuff. But it was productive because I moved all of this stuff. I dug it out of that trailer, and I had to basically build 3 cars in my head. I had to build the 65, the split window, and the 67 Roadster, because I didn't want to take parts that were going to belong to one of the other cars. So some of the parts here will live on in the other cars, but I tried to do my best to pick out what parts I needed. And if you guys have any requests on videos you'd like to see while I do this series, let me know, because I'm going to have plenty of opportunities to structure videos that way if you tell me ahead of time rather than after the fact, after I've already filmed it. So this will be a fun series. We're going to do birdcage work, fiberglass work. We're going to install a custom floor from Dynamic Corvettes, which should be pretty exciting. Install it on a Roadster Shop Spec 7 chassis, install a front end, do some rough end body work. So it'll be similar to this in that sense, but I'm not going to do any mechanical work. We're just going to throw some wheels on it and ship her back. So it should be a nice fun build. Hopefully take a couple months to get it done beginning to end. This is just a quick and dirty video to show you guys the project that I have coming up here. Obviously I didn't do any work on it, but a lot of the work is just getting it here and getting it situated. I wanted to give you guys an idea of what I do. Whenever I try to plan projects and move stuff around, there's a lot of logistics involved. But this one's going to be pretty busy, so it's going to be happening very soon. So I'll still be doing some work on that 68 Corvette, so don't freak out. We'll still get to that, but this one is going to be a heavy hitter here for a couple months, so there's going to be a lot of videos on that coming up very soon. So if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I got a lot of work to do, so I'll catch you guys later.